several years after I came to San Francisco, Watt was the Secretary of the Interior, and he abolished the Bureau of Outdoor Recreation. Here I am, the regional director, and I'm left hanging.
Are we transitioning now into a new period?
We're transitioning into the Park Service.
Okay, hold on, folks. Here we go. Okay, go right ahead.
Okay. Well, I'm left hanging. There are 6 regional directors. They're all left hanging. He's in a Republican administration, and we don't know what's going to happen. Well, there's one regional director who came from California under a Republican governor. So he gets to the job, the National Park Service regional directorship in Atlanta. All the other ones are out. I'm offered a job with the National Park Service as an associate regional director. I grab it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I actually don't. I was in the Federal Executive Service in my job in San Francisco as a regional director, and I transferred to the highest level you can transfer to in the Park Service as a GS-15, and I didn't lose any pay.
That's high, right?
That's as high as you can go without being in the Federal Executive Service.
Wow.
So I don't lose any pay, and I'm an associate regional director of the National Park Service. That's in probably, let's see, 78, in the early 80s.
And president was?
President
Was
was.
it Reagan? Reagan? Was it Reagan? I don't know.
Yeah, it was Reagan. It was Reagan, right. It was Reagan, right.
I want to hear, there's a lot of, and wait, how long were you with the National Park Service?
From the early 80s till 93.
About another 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be a little bit of a story.
I was pleased to get that job, and I became the associate regional director for, I guess you would call it, it wasn't called that, but I guess you would call it technical services, because I had the division of planning. I had a division of historic preservation. I had a division of outdoor recreation. I had a division of cultural resources. Now, the division of cultural resources, in addition to the division in San Francisco, I had a repository in Tucson, Arizona, a huge archaeological preservation center. That was under my direction. So we had California, Hawaii, Arizona, Nevada, and Guam.
Not to forget little Guam. And you traveled to all these places.
Yes.
You were
Constantly.
You were very world traveled.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yosemite, Grand Canyon, Death Valley, all of the historic sites. Our divisions were to provide help to the parks in all of those things I'm talking about.
Right.
Now, the planning division, I don't know why I got the planning division, because I had absolutely no experience in planning in the Park Service, but I got it. And periodically, quarterly, we would go. There was a Denver Service Center, and the Denver Service Center had all of the engineers and the architects and people like that.
The technical type people.
Yeah, I mean the real professional people that actually did the work.
Right.
We had quarterly meetings with them. The regional director and our staff would go over there, and we would meet and talk about projects and prioritize projects in the park and review progress on projects. So I learned a lot. And it was a good thing we had a good division chief who knew the ropes.
Right. Right. That's like the sergeant in the Army who get the officer.
That's exactly right. I was more comfortable with the other parts of it, although I had to learn a lot about the historic preservation part, and I was very interested in that because we had also had external programs. For example, we they covered in the programs that the Bureau of Outdoor Recreation had. They covered them into the Park Service, and then I had control of those. So I was still doing some of the things I did before.
Let's pretend that I have no idea of what role historic preservation plays in the National Park Service.
Okay.
Can you explain that, please? I mean, I understand out here, but what was that?
They had well, internally, the parks, in addition to all of the natural resources, they had a lot of historical properties and artifacts, archaeological and buildings, and so they had to be concerned about that, and we had a division in the regional office that advised them on that.
Right.
And we also had an external program very similar to the outdoor recreation program that provided grants for outdoor recreation. We had a similar program for historic preservation.
Give me some examples. Give me some real examples of historic preservation projects that you may have dealt with.
In the Park Service?
Yes.
For example, some of the lodges that were original lodges in the Park Service that had to be restored, and they had to be restored precisely the way they were built.
You had Yosemite?
Yosemite?
Did you have a Ahwahnee Lodge under you?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes.
Oh, in the canyon with, oh, wow.
Oh, sure. We had all of those.
Wow.
And we had a staff, and the big parks had a few people also that were professionals that handled historic preservation. And a lot of archaeology. I can remember one particular project in Death Valley. It was called Manzanar. It was one of the camps that they kept the Japanese in during World War II. And
In Death Valley?
in Death Valley.
How'd that work out?
Well, I guess they survived, but there wasn't very much left of it. But there were the foundations and the gardens that the Japanese made; those are still there, and there was one building, and so that was a project of restoration. We used archaeologists and architects for that project, and that was ongoing when I left. Very interesting. There was a very supportive group of Japanese people from San Francisco.
Right.
And it was quite an extensive area. The Japanese were very they had a lot of ingenuity, and they made the best of their situation.
Huh.
They made Japanese gardens.
You said gardens. You mean actually Japanese gardens,
right, with rocks and pathways.
Water.
Right, and so that was the effort was to preserve that, and also to reconstruct some of the buildings, reproduce some of the buildings that have been torn down, because they lived in barracks.
Do you have any idea, remember at all, how many people were there? How many Japanese were there? I'm just curious, 100, 1,000? Was it a big facility?
Several thousand.
Oh, it was big.
Yeah, it was big.
Wow.
Yeah.
God, why did they pick Death Valley?
Yeah, they were all over the country,
No,
particularly in the West.
Right, but Death Valley?
Yeah, yeah,
That's a little intense.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, not in the
Directly.
in the lowest part where they were.
But even so, I've been around the edges. It's still kind of extreme.
Yeah.
Okay. If you remember other ones like that, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
How long did you work on that before you left it? Was that
On that particular project?
Yeah.
Well, it was ongoing my entire time that I was there.
Oh boy.
People were working on it,
Wow.
and it was slow because all of the projects required money, and so it was a fight to get money to do the work.
So it was like.
I understand the thing is really, it has been completed now, and it's quite a tourist attraction now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Any others? We can come back to it later. But any other?
Another place was God, I can't think of the name of the island. It just skips my mind. But where the leper colony was. Eventually, the Park Service took that over, after all of the people left. There were a few people left that refused to leave. Of course, they were cured.
Oh, okay. Where was this? Just off the west coast?
It was
Pacific?
it was on one of the islands of Hawaii. But anyhow, the leper colony it was quite an extensive place. They had a very small landing strip for light planes. The only other way you could get there was by boat. There was a donkey trail coming down a cliff. And they had a huge hospital, one-story hospital on stilts that went all over the place. And they had various houses around for staff. And at the time I was over there, they were in the process of trying to stabilize and restore the hospital. And inside the hospital were a lot of artifacts, instruments, medical instruments and things like that, and puzzles that the inmates had done,
Right.
paintings. Since then, the hospital has burned down, completely gone.
When was the period when they were active in the hospital? How long?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, was it 100 years before, or? I mean, was it?
It was active. It was still a little bit active when the Park Service took it over, but I can't give you the dates. But all right.
But going back in time, did it go back into the?
It went way back.
It went way back.
Yeah, it went way
back in the 1800s.
Yeah, it went way back. Way back when lepers were really lepers. You know, they shipped them over there to die.
Right.
That was way before they discovered the sulfur drugs that cured. You know, it was fairly easy to cure leprosy. So that was a very interesting restoration project over there. Houses had to be done just right. Windows had to be right. Doors had to be right.
Right. How many times did you go there? We're talking about Hawaii here. So
It was just a short flight over there, and I always flew over there
short flight from where?
from the main island.
Oh, yeah, but it's not a short flight from the coast. I mean, that's what I'm asking.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, you had to go. You had to be in Hawaii
Yes,
first.
it's
It's a long flight.
We may need to take another bus here.
It's like flying from Boston to San Francisco.
right,
About the same distance.
right. But I was curious how many times you'd been there.
Probably 5 or 6 times.
Really,
Yeah.
you really got around.
Yes. Never got to Guam.
Did you get a chance to look around the Hawaiian Islands?
Oh, yes.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did.
Did a lot of hiking in Hawaii volcanoes.
How much did you take advantage of once you were there? I don't know, so many of these places to go out looking around, go out hiking, go out, I don't know, whether it was boating or fishing or whatever. How frequently did you do that?
No boating and fishing, but always took advantage of hiking
Okay,
and you know, touring places by hiking.
right.
Always took advantage of that. Grand Canyon was wonderful.
You got down, did you get?
But we were lucky. We had a helicopter, and we could helicopter all the way down to the bottom.
That's cheating.
Yes.
That definitely.
It is cheating. Well, I never took a donkey trip down,
Right.
but I did hike from the North Rim right down to the bottom and hike back up. And that was fun. Actually, I spent more time at the North Rim as a tourist with my family than I did with the Park Service. But I was there frequently. We had meetings on the North Rim. I just thought of something. There was another division that we had that I supervised. We had scientists. These were doctors, PhDs.
Right. Rocket
And,
science.
and several were stationed at the parks, the big parks like Yosemite and Hawaii, one for all of Hawaii, Redwoods National Park. And then we had scientists at the USC Davis. And we had a chief scientist in the regional office, and he reported to me. He supervised the scientist. One of the projects was very interesting. The feral pigs in Hawaii volcanoes were doing so much damage, they figured in the park, they figured they had to start controlling them. So they started building fences. and starting to started trying trapping them.
Right.
And then of course they kept track of the hogs, the weight and the age and all that sort of thing.
Right.
And I'm trying to remember whether they used poison. I think they did use poison. They had traps.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly about how they control the pigs.
Right.
But that was quite a project, and I remember going through and they had to build these fences through jungle. Very difficult building these fences. Stainless steel fences.
Right. And it was just they weren't electrified. They were just
Just
stand
fences,
to
right?
keep them out.
Yeah,
And they're nasty for hurl pigs.
Yeah.
They can be, I should say.
yeah. Well, they were doing a lot of damage. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I meant with people too. If you're not,
yeah.
they can get a little aggressive.
So, and they did studies on bears. They captured bears and measured them and aged them.
Oh, I'm going to sound stupid now. There are bears in Hawaii?
Oh no, I'm getting back to. These were in the Redwoods National Park.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This is Redwood. Right, they had a bear study,
Right.
and there was some rare animals like the spotted owl, and there was can't think of the name of the bird that flew into the redwoods and nested in the redwoods. It was a seabird. I can't think of the name.
Yeah.
But they did studies on those.
How much time did you spend in the redwoods? Visiting the redwoods or stuff there too?
Probably, I think equally all the parks.
All of them?
Yeah,